morning, friends. Let's learn some Torah. It's Parshat Shoftim. We're in the middle of the book of Deuteronomy, and again, Moses is sharing the messages that he believes we need to learn so that we can make it. What are the essential lessons that he wants to teach us so that we can survive when he has left this earth? We know that the end of book of Deuteronomy is where Moshe dies, but actually he knows that too, because we're on the edge of entering into the land, and he knows he's not going to be joining us. As complicated as that may be, he knows what's about to happen, and so he's trying to prepare us for when he's not there to offer us guidance. It's a beautiful gift, very emotional to talk about it, very powerful to witness it as his descendants. We all are his spiritual descendants, students of the Torah that he sought to teach, even when we disagree, perhaps especially when we disagree with any part of the Torah. It is important to remember that it was offered as a gift for us to consider, as an attempt to help us avoid some of the pitfalls that our ancestors fell prey to. Here we are, about to learn one more lesson from the book of Deuteronomy in Parshat Shoftim. Now, the most famous verse in this parsha is Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof. Justice, justice shall you pursue. And in fact, it's important for us to understand that the Torah does not use words casually. It could have said Tzedek Tirdof, pursue justice. But in fact, the verse says Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue. And of course, this is part of the central ideas of the United States of America, but it certainly must be the centerpiece of any just society, to pursue justice. But the commentators, as is common, look at curiosities in the Torah's language, and they say, why does it say it twice? Why do you need to say, justice, justice shall you pursue? So, for a change, this was fun to do, I looked back at this book. Some of us remember it well. The first year that we created this community together, very hard year, we then took the Torah that we shared each day and asked the help of rabbinical students from around the United States to turn it into a book. And so I turned to our wisdom, friends, where I found the following about this verse. These words have become a rallying call for nearly all social justice causes of the Jewish community collectively and organizationally. But the verse reaches far deeper than we often think. In the Talmud, we have a record of two ancient sages discussing why the word tzedek is stated twice in our verse. Reish Lakish compares it to other calls for justice in the Torah, and asserts that here the verse must be referencing a fraudulent trial, where the court must take extra care to judge with justice. Now here we are, friends, in the middle of a contemporary moment where it's not clear in the United States of America that everyone understands that the courts of justice act according to the rules, because if you do not trust that, you speak in a deeply disrespectful way, not only about the specific court, but about the efforts for justice on behalf of this country. So here we are reading this verse, wondering how it might apply to our moment. Well, according to this opinion, Reish Lakish in the Talmud, the first call of justice is to assess the validity of the trial itself, and the second is for the actual trial. So here it says, the first tzedek of tzedek, tzedek tirdof says you must make sure that the court itself is functioning according to the laws of justice. We would call this due diligence. So the first tzedek is for the due diligence of the practice of justice. And the second tzedek, the one that we must also pursue, is the content of the case itself. That's fascinating. That's Reish Lakish's opinion. Here's a second opinion, Rav Ashi. Rav Ashi believes that the first tzedek regards judgment, while the second tzedek regards compromise. In this read, the suggestion is that justice is a multifaceted process. While it might be simple to imagine judgment, the act of assessing a social situation and drawing specific conclusions, as the primary work of organized justice, the Torah here suggests that there is more that must be done. We must also engage in the much more complicated and difficult work of negotiating solutions that reduce the very perpetuation of harm that gave rise to any specific case and create a more just reality for everyone. So, again, the two opinions, Reish Lakish and Rav Ashi, ancient sages from 2,000 years ago, speaking about the verse that we have in this week's Parsha yet again. Tzedek, tzedek tirdov, justice, justice shall you pursue. One opinion says that the court must be deemed just in the first place. We must understand, accept, and enforce the validity of the courts of justice in any society. And the second is that the specific cases must be judged justly. Powerful. The second opinion, this one is Rav Ashi, is the first tzedek tells us to pursue justice. The second one tells us that in order to pursue justice, we must recognize that there are competing ideas of justice in the world. That self-righteousness is not the same as righteousness. Justice is a complicated issue. It is rare for there to be obvious answers. And in order for us to do truly the due diligence of being human and creating a human, just society, compromise will be essential to recognize that there is a truth beyond mine. And only in the meeting of truths can we possibly create a society that can truly be described as just. So friends, here we are in another go-around. This is our fourth time through the Torah. We've completed it 3 times. What new will emerge this time through? What new practical wisdom can we gain by reading the Parsha as a community concerned with justice? Ending with the words of Rabbi Cantor Risa, who shares her wisdom with us so regularly. Thank God for you. To emphasize the importance that treating people fairly is that important. That's why the verse says it twice. To make sure that nothing unfairly gets in the way of possibly a most important decision that would affect a person's life or the lives of people whose family member is on trial. We are all connected. No court case is actually ever judged in isolation. It impacts all of us. Even when a guilty verdict must be proclaimed, it is essential for us to remember that that implicates us all. In the Torah, when 2 witnesses came forward to testify against someone in a capital case, if that person were ever judged guilty, the witnesses must mete out the punishment. It is a terrible rule and a pivotal rule. No one in society is untouched by cases that involve the question of justice. May we be blessed to be part of a society where justice truly is the tenor of our world, and where we all recognize how responsible we are for that. That's what holds us together. And that's, as the end of the verse says, that is the way that we will thrive on the land that we've been blessed to live upon. Let's go into a good day, friends. Let's sing our way into it. Here we go. Bless you, friends. See you tomorrow.